Since the explosion of Hollywood in the 1920s, we have seen numerous examples of bodybuilders making the transition into acting and stardom. The consistent portrayal of masculine action men, comic book superheroes, and otherworldly cyborg assassins within the film industry has cultivated a timeless thirst for muscular men on the big screen. Yet, one of the most recognisable actors of the 20th century, who was propelled to fame through his role in the James Bond franchise, spent many of his early years posing on stages in front of judges. But this was no success story. One overriding theme regarding the majority of individuals that transitioned into acting is that they were successful in the bodybuilding field beforehand. The first person to follow this path was Steve Reeves. He won the titles of Mr. America, Mr. World and Mr. Universe twice before progressing onto the movie scene, starring in roles such as Hercules and Glaucus. Many consider him to have showcased one of the most aesthetic physiques of all time, which was further complemented by his attractive looks. Then came Roy Reg Park, an English bodybuilder who had won Mr. Britain in 1949. He then went on to win the Mr. Universe title in 1951, 1958 and 1965. Like Reeves, Park featured as Hercules in various films, as well as a legendary strongman called Makist in the picture of Samson in King Solomon's Mines. This fella was genuinely an absolute unit. And of course, the 70s and 80s brought us stars such as Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator and Conan the Barbarian, along with Lou Ferrigno in Hercules and The Incredible Hulk Returns. Arnold won 7 Mr. Olympia titles, whilst Lou Ferrigno won an IFBB Mr. America title and 2 consecutive Mr. Universe titles, both exhibiting significant levels of success within the sport. Thomas Sean Connery, the man that many claim to be the most iconic James Bond of all time. He was born to a poor working class family in the slums of Fountainbridge, Edinburgh in August 1930 and had dropped out of school at 13 so that he could take on full-time employment. His first job was as a milkman for a local co-op before joining the Royal Navy at just 16. This was where he initially began to build his physique, but he was discharged after 3 years due to a duodenal ulcer. Having been discharged, he stood around 6'2" and had a strong frame, which enabled him to work as a lifeguard at the Portobello open-air pool and as an artist model for the Edinburgh College of Art. It was through these professions that he was eventually noticed by Health and Strength magazine. In 1953, Connery's muscular physique appeared on the last page of the 5th of March issue, and this instilled enough confidence in him to register for the Mr. Universe pageant that same year. Now, according to Connery's own website, it claims that he competed in the 1950 Mr. Universe pageant, securing 3rd place overall. However, other sources have combed through the Stark Centre's collection of Health and Strength, instead finding a page in the August 1953 issue that lists the results for that year's Mr. Universe competition. It states Tom Connery of Scotland competed in the amateur class 1 division of the 1953 Mr. Universe pageant but failed to place in the top 6. Enduring Aesthetics reports the 22-year-old's measurements at the time as 200 pounds or 90 kilos with a 48-inch chest, 25-inch thighs and arms at 15.25 inches. Nevertheless, standing at 6'2", he stood out from the vast majority of the other competitors, as evidenced by the photos. This led to him being asked to attend auditions for a theatrical production of South Pacific. He landed a role in the chorus and began his acting career. Although he never made it to a professional level, bodybuilding presented Connery with a path to fame and fortune, primarily as it allowed him to build up muscle and confidence, as well as getting used to being on stage. He lived to be 90 years old and remained in pretty good shape for the entirety of his life. This is underlined by the fact that at 59 years old in 1989, he was named as People magazine's sexiest man alive, the oldest man to ever achieve this feat. I wanted to shed light upon this unknown chapter of Connery's career, as unlike many of the other action heroes from the 20th century, very little is known of the actor's path to greatness. His bodybuilding journey is simply a tiny footnote in his haul of achievements, and yet it seems to be the catalyst for setting the wheels in motion for his road to stardom. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I think we've just passed 9,000 subscribers, which is just crazy. I really appreciate you guys. All the love and support's been incredible, and I'm going to continue to make great content for you guys. So, yeah, cheers.